continuity of agenda. This is what the Biden administration was obsessed with, ultimately China. And even though people like to pick, people on the right like to pick on the Biden administration, they like to call President Biden Beijing Biden. But in reality, throughout the entire Biden administration, they were preparing for war with China. That was the top priority. This conflict with Russia is meant to isolate China before the U.S. focuses entirely on China. If you have been following along over the last 2 decades, China building up its Belt and Road Initiative to circumvent possible maritime choke points, the U.S. is already preparing to cut off Chinese maritime shipping through. The U.S. has been desperately trying to cut the Belt and Road Initiative over land. If China shares this long border with Russia, and these two nations are allies, the huge amount of natural resources that Russia possesses, the ability to move trade through Russia to many other countries, you can't isolate China. You need to diminish, overstretch, and if possible, topple and then politically capture Russia to then further and fully cut off China. That is the whole strategy. It has been since the end of World War II. This is all that they've been doing for decades and decades, again, regardless of which administration is in power. And Secretary Hegseth is tying this to the border because if he just explained what the U.S. is really trying to do, the U.S. wants to be the preeminent power in the Asia-Pacific region. In Asia, where the U.S. isn't even located on a map. American people would say, why are we doing that? So they have to tie China to the U.S. border, to fentanyl, to illegal immigration, it's demagoguery. It's to scare the American people. It's to incite fear and hatred and panic. It's just another pretext, a false pretext the U.S. is using to legitimize its foreign policy, just like they lied about WMDs in Iraq, or they
stop the U.S. war machine.